Tell me why you wanted to go back to Rich Hill. Why was that so important to you?
It's Andrew and my family hometown, so it's the place where my father grew up, and Andrew's mother. And for me, it was a very formative place. My father was killed in Vietnam when I was a baby, and so my grandparents who lived there were like surrogate parents to me. And my mother was a working mom. I spent every summer, and whenever school was out, went to Rich Hill. So I have a lot of memories of that place that are really lovely and comforting to me. At the same time, as I grew up, I could see people really struggling, and images and memories of it started to be not so comforting, but also kind of troubling. And that's where the seed was planted for me.
And why did you want to focus on the poor side of it? And how did you pick out these particular subjects? And why did they have to be boys?
Well, I'll answer the first part, that it sort of happened organically, who we were following. In the first trip, we sort of were casting a wide net and following a number of different people, or meeting people, interviewing people, and we met Apache in the very first trip, and we were really drawn to him. There was something very magnetic and something wise beyond his years. And I think we both after that trip were so interested in him. And then from there, in the next trips, we met a few other people. And I don't know if you'd like to answer the second part to that question about the only boys aspect. It sort of also just sort of happened that these were our three boys, and they were the people we were most interested in.
I mean, at some point, it became clear that to tell the kind of intimate story that we wanted to tell, we couldn't overpopulate it and tell too many stories. And the stories of these boys was very particular, and in large part, they were without many role models in their families. There was a lot of anger and kind of jeopardy that was very specific to being a boy. And I was drawn to their mothers and what their relationship was like with these boys. So I also felt like it wasn't, only a male perspective that we were following ultimately. So that was the choice with this film. Of course, it seems like every film that I'm working on now is very much about women. And there was a girl that didn't ultimately make it in this film because it felt too divergent, but that I'm doing a longer form film about right now. So there are more stories to be told for sure.